Hi guys, today we'll be doing a review for the Virtual School Test, Unit 4, Lessons 1 through 5. Throughout the lessons, we found unit rate with fractions are the constant of proportionality with fractions and even decimals. Okay, so today in this review, I'll be tackling questions dealing with mixed fractions and with decimals as well. All right, let's look at number 1. It says Jonah has a recipe that uses 1 1/2 cup of brown sugar and 2 1/3 cups of flour to make 24 muffins. He has a total of 7 cups of flour. Jonah wants to use all of his flour to make many muffins as possible using this recipe. Exactly how many cups of brown sugar would Jonah use if he uses 7 cups of flour? All right, guys. So we're going to look at the first question first, and then we're going to go to question 2 or part B. All right. So needless to say, I need to start off doing some annotations. What I'm going to start off is annotating this ratio that's given to us, which is 1 cup of brown sugar to 2 1/3 cups of flour. Okay. Another thing that's imperative, and you guys can circle this, I'll circle this in red, is that he has 7 cups of flour. Okay? Now, while we were learning lessons 1 through 5, I always told you guys, anytime you see a mixed fraction, you want to change it to an improper fraction. Okay? So here's what we're going to do. 1 times 2 plus 1 is 3 over 2. So I'm going to write that down. 3 over 2 cups of brown sugar to, and this one, it says 2 1/3, so 2 times 3 plus 1 is 7 over 3 or 7/3 cups of flour. Okay, so the reason why I set this up in ratio form is because I want to find the unit rate first. And I need to kind of like give you guys a visual of how do I know which side to divide by which side by, okay? So in order to figure out, hey, well, how much does he need for 7 cups? I could find out, well, how much does he need for 1 cup of flour, okay? And I want to write my ratio like this: 1 cup of flour. You don't have to necessarily use a ratio. You could even use a table. You could use a double number line or whatever. I'm just using a ratio because, I don't know, it's just something that I feel best and most confident in doing it. But you guys could use, like I said, double number lines, graphs, not graphs, but tables and so on. Okay, so this is for 1 cup of flour. In the classroom, I always ask my students, well, which side is this telling me to go to 1? Meaning, okay, this is 1 cup of flour, this is 7/3. So I would want to divide by the side that is asking me to go to 1, which is this side. Okay. So I'm going to divide a number. Anytime you divide a number by itself is equivalent to 1. So 7/3 divided by 7/3, and whatever you do to one side, you have to do to the other side. And let me erase that because I don't want you guys to think that, oh, we're going to divide that first. There we go. All right. So anytime you divide fractions, you have to apply the multiplicative inverse, which is 7 over 3 times 3 over 7, and that's going to equal 1. Okay, so we know that when that cancels out, or when we multiply going across, it's going to equal 1. Because 21 over 21 is 1 whole. Okay, So then with this side, this is the true math problem. 3/2 divided by 7/3. I want to apply the multiplicative inverse. Okay. And now I have 9/14. Okay. So 9/14 cups of brown sugar. Okay, so now that we found the unit rate for how many cups of sugar per cups of flour, now I could just simply multiply by 7. Why do I want to multiply by 7? It's because it's asking for 7 cups of flour. So multiplying by 7, multiplying the whole number by 7. Okay, now this turns into 7 cups of flour, but I have a math problem on this side, which I want to multiply 9/14. Now, this is 7. What do I need to put under that 7, you think, when I multiply it towards times a fraction? I need to put a 1 underneath that 7 because it's a whole number. All right. Now, I want to multiply going straight across. So it's going to be 63 over 14. Okay. But I need to turn this into an not improper, but I need to turn this improper fraction to a mixed fraction because my answers are in mixed fraction form. Okay. So I have 14, and I'm going to divide that numerator. Now I need to do a little bit of sidebar math. I can ask myself, well, how many times can 14 go into 63? Well, I know that 14 times 2 is 28, so I don't want to start off with 2. Let's start off with 3. I want to start off with a number bigger than 3. So, okay, that's 12. That's 42. And then I'm going to do one more number bigger to make sure. So that's going to be 8. Oh, no, that's 6. I'm sorry about that. Let me switch to my eraser. Ooh. There we go. Let me erase it. It's not going to be 8. Simple mistake. Sorry about that, guys. It's going to be 16, actually. Carry the 1 is 56. And let's go one more number bigger, which is 5. And that's going to be 20. Carry the 2, that's 70. So that's too big. So the biggest number that could go inside is 4. All right. So this is going to be 56. I need to borrow. Now I have 7 left over. What I want to do is turn it back into a mixed fraction. So remember, your answer right here would be the whole number. Your remainder will be the numerator, and the number that you use to divide everything by will be the denominator. Now I have 4 and 7/14. Can that fraction simplify? Can 7/14 simplify? If you screamed out, yes, you are absolutely correct. 7/14 can simplify to 1 1/2, which is B. 1 1/2, which is B. Okay. So now let's look at part B, which it says exactly how many muffins will Jonah make if he uses 7 cups of flour. All right. So now I have a new ratio. And I'm going to erase this highlighter because we're not worried about the cups of brown sugar anymore. We have a new ratio, and the new ratio is, and I'm going to highlight it red, 2 1/3 cups of flour to make 24 muffins. All right. So I have 2 1/3 cups of flour. Okay. And this is 24 muffins. I'm sorry about that. Okay, we could do the same thing like we did with the other problem. We can divide, and I'm going to put 7/3 because this is 7/3 cups of flour. So 24 muffins. So we could divide both sides divided by 7/3. Because I want to find the unit rate for, well, how many cups do you need? Well, how many muffins can 1 cup make? And when I divide that, it's going to be, and we know this cancels out to one cup of flour. And then 24. And then I'm going to apply the multiplicative inverse, which is 3/7. Place a 1 underneath it. And now I have my math problem, which is 24 times 3. 24 times 3 is 72 divided by 7. All right. Contrary to belief, I want to keep that number. I want to keep this number right here. I'm not going to simplify it just yet. Okay. Now, since I have 1 cup of flour, which I'll use a different color to show a next step, and it said you have 7 cups of flour, I will multiply by 7 on both sides. And I'm multiplying this number times 7 now. Okay? So now I have 72/7 times 7/1. Okay. I want to show you guys this trick that a Eureka specialist told me when she came train me one day. She said that if you multiply a numerator and denominator by the same number, you can scratch it out because eventually you'll reduce by that same number. So meaning, if I had to rewrite this as 72 times 7 equals 7 times 1, I can scratch out those 7s. Because I'm going to simplify by it anyway. Okay, I'm going to simplify by it anyway. So it would be 72 muffins. Okay, so let me show you guys what I mean by that. So just in case you guys are at home confused, it's going to be 72. If you was to multiply 72 times 7, it would equal 504/7. If I would say, okay, 504, how many times could 7 go into 50? 7 could go into 57 times, which would be 49. And then 7 could go into 14 twice. Hence, we get the same answer, 72. All right. I hope you guys pay really close attention to this question. It may pop up on your tests. If so, please feel free to use this video to answer this test question. Okay, guys? So I'll see you guys in the next review question. And if you have any questions about this question, make sure you visit your manager's Google Meet session.